Hello everyone, this is an update about plans that I've got for my channel and videos that I've got planned and just video stuff in general. Today, as in the day of recording this, it is the 2nd of September 2013. One thing that you may have noticed recently is all the rant videos, and I've got many more lined up. They're actually scheduled to go up every Saturday. I schedule them to go up Saturdays at 7:30 GMT time, and they are going up every week. And I've got many planned out in advance. I've actually, to this moment that I'm speaking, I have up to 17 completely done. I have 3 more that I still need to edit together, put pictures on and upload them. And I've got a few other ideas that I still need to record for rants. So they're pretty much solid, as in they're just going to keep coming up once every Saturday at 7:30 GMT time. So they're pretty much sorted. At the moment, they're pretty much sorted through until about November. But I want to try and keep on top of it so that I can keep a constant flow of rants up, so that I don't have to keep making sure that I'm making them all the time. They're rather simple to make and they're quite quick to make. I mean, really the most difficult point is trying to think of a topic, and the most tedious part is getting the audio and making the image and putting it together. But it's still easy work. So you can expect them coming up for quite a while, considering, I mean, how many's up at the moment now? I think it's 8 or maybe 9. So there's at least like 10 more weeks of rants definitely going up. So what do I think of the rants? Well, the rants in general, someone pointed out to me that calling them rants probably doesn't really do them justice, because they've got more depth to that. And so, well, first of all, thank you, person who said that, because I like to think of myself as someone who does like to think, I wouldn't say in depth per se, because I think it's just like naturally just like how I am. I'm not one of these people who like gets up and starts shouting. That's just not my style. In the words of Adele from Disgaea 2, that's just not my style. Yeah, so I just generally just talking about like game mechanics and stuff and all that, and it's good. So yeah, they are going to be coming up without problem. I've got reviews. Now reviews, when it comes to reviews are probably, of all the things that I have made, reviews are probably the hardest thing to make, but also the most satisfying once I get them out. Only problem is that the reviews that I've got, even though it's taking some time to build up views, in general they don't get too many views in comparison to how much my other videos normally do. So I suppose that causes a little bit of demotivation. Is that a word? Demotivation? Maybe it is. That causes a bit of me being demotivated to make them. But I think with reviews, one of the big things I like to do is to kind of show off games that I think maybe not too many people have played or people haven't heard of that I really like. Do I want to do reviews of bad games? Yes, I've got one game particularly in mind I would like to do a review of, which I absolutely hate, and I think is probably probably the worst game I've ever played. And it's not one of these very typical ones like, ooh, Action 52, Superman 64. It's not one of those. It's a game that I don't think many people have heard of, but I think is just terrible, and I've got a lot to say about that. And because I've got other games that I would like to review that maybe more people are aware of. But you see, the thing is that I get the feeling that unless you're reviewing something that's like brand new, like Call of Duty Ghosts or whatever, I mean, it's not out yet, is it? I don't think so. I don't keep up to date with Call of Duty, so I have no idea. I doubt it's out. But whatever, like Call of Duty and the new Splinter Cell game and The Last of Us, I feel that it's like I'd have to, like, if I really wanted to like get out there, I'd have to like review those types of games. But the problem is that I don't want to review those games, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't be very good at it because I'm not good at those games and I don't know. I'm just generally unknowledgeable about those games. So, I mean, I couldn't really review a first-person shooter, mostly because I'm not very good at first-person shooters. I try to stick to what I know and what I think I've at least got some skill at. But yeah, there's that, and I don't know when the next review will be up or what it will be. I haven't got any particularly planned. Not ones for like, oh, I know what I'm going to do next. I mean, I did the Pokemon trading card game once, and then later on I thought I should really review Tearaway Thomas because I think that's a game that no one's heard of and I really like it. So I reviewed Tearaway Thomas, and I've got other reviews that, well, there are like maybe a couple of games, like I said, one particular I've got in mind that I'd want to do, but really there's not many games that, there's not like a whole plethora of games I've got lined up to do reviews for, so I think I'll just take it as it goes. But what I am going to try to do is become a bit more organised with reviews, and maybe make it once a month, or maybe even once every 2 months. I don't know. Or maybe try to schedule it for a specific day of the week, probably. I don't know how frequently that's going to be, but I haven't just... When it comes to reviews, don't be expecting anything. They'll come up when they'll come up. That's all I can say about that. Now, Let's Plays and Let's Tries, I haven't done them for a while. There are a couple of games I would like to Let's Play, but I've got a bit of a trouble with them at the moment in the realms of laptops, as to not really make Let's Playing all that feasible. Also, Let's Playing does take a lot of work in that you gotta, play through the whole game, and I'm doing other things that I'm not really in the mood to go and actually set aside an entire game to play through for videos. As with Let's Tries, I don't know, I've just not really thought about them for a while. I probably will get back into them at some point, but I'm really not sure. And I haven't done any for a while, but I would really have to think about it. So, what else is there? Well, one thing that I want to address, which I haven't actually heard anything from for a while, but the Game Maker videos, the Game Maker tutorials. Now, there's no denying it that my Game Maker tutorials are by far my most popular videos. They get so much views and I get so much compliments for them, and thank you to everyone who's left a compliment and appreciates my work, because I appreciate your appreciation. So they have been very successful. However, I'm not sure how much more I want to make or how much more I can make. I mean, at the moment, there is that issue that I did mention before about the laptop situation I was talking about, and I haven't made any for a while, ages, and so I don't really think people are suspecting any. The worry is that if I was to continue with them, then people would start expecting them again. But I just want to say, don't really be expecting anymore, because I kind of got worn out from doing Game Maker videos, and it kind of got to the point where I wasn't really sure where to go. Usually what ended up happening was I wouldn't plan out loads of videos in advance for Game Maker. I would have a few ideas and I would just go along with it, and if ever a new thing came up and I was thinking, oh, that's a good thing to do next, I'd do it next. And up to the point that I got up to, which was like 36 episodes, I think I did pretty well, and of course there's still a lot more to cover, and to be quite frank, I don't know everything about Game Maker, and I'm sure there's loads of stuff I don't know, but I just wanted to talk about the stuff that I did know, so I went and did that. As for new videos as to what's going to be coming up, one problem is that I'm not really sure exactly how many people... Well, I kind of get an idea of how many people watch these videos based on the view count, but I tend not to get many comments. And one thing that's really, really annoying me about YouTube, especially now, because I've heard that they're going to remove the video responses thing, is that they are turning off the... Yeah, we'll turn off the video responses, I've just said that. It's suddenly becoming less and less social and more business-like. And whilst being more business-like also kind of leads to being more professional, and I do try to be somewhat professional, in that whilst the production quality might not be great, I try to stay somewhat consistent, and I try to make sure that everything's user-friendly and clear. It kind of annoys me because, in a sense, I don't get that many comments. Not blaming new people. I'm sure if I said something that was more comment-worthy, then people would leave more comments in general. Although I suppose you could leave comments on the rants, but again, I don't know, like, who really gets into the videos. So, but regardless, what I was going to say was that there's two things that I'm wanting to do, video-wise, two new series that I'm wanting to start, although one of them I'm not too sure about how it will turn into a series, and the other one obviously will be a series, but it's going to take a lot of preparation. The first one is, now I don't know what I would call it, and I don't know how interested people would be, although if I was to get more views out there in general for my overall videos, people might start becoming more interested, I don't know. But I want to kind of make a video series kind of talking about myself, and that sounds really vain, I know, but I don't mean it like that. What I mean to say is that I want to make a video series where, say, like, people can ask me questions and I can answer those questions, or maybe I dedicate an episode to talking about something such as what it was like for me growing up with games, and what games that I played with as I grew up, and what I found, what I wanted, which friends I was jealous of because of the consoles that they had, and stuff like that. And I think that could be quite interesting, just in general, even if you don't care about me specifically, which I'm sure not everyone, maybe a couple of people, but sure not everyone does. But if you care to know about like things like that, and just, I mean, maybe some non-game related things, I don't know, but again, that's the series that I'm not sure how it would get started. The first episode would just have to be like an introduction. The other video series that I'd want to do, and I think this would probably be quite, I imagine this would be quite popular, but I'm not sure how it would go, and I would take a lot of preparation, but I would want to do a top games list. Now, I'm not talking about like a top 10 games or whatever. I'm talking about maybe a couple hundred, because I am currently in the middle of trying to make a list of all the games that I've ever played, because I felt like it. I've not finished the list yet, and I've still got quite a bit of a way to go, and I'm currently at about 600 or so. So I've actually got like a lot to choose from. Although a lot of those, I don't know how much of those games percentage-wise, but some of those games obviously will just be like, oh, maybe me being at a friend's house and playing a game for like 5 minutes or something. So I'm just including like a list of all the games that I've played that I can think of. And then the question comes in, well, do you count Facebook games in that list? And yes, I will. Even though most of them are terrible, I have tried some of them out, and some of them I like, and I've played them. Would you include Flash games in that list? It can get rather strange in types of games that you've played. Would you count board games on that list? I don't know. It's gonna be quite hard. But what I'm hoping to do is eventually, once I've got that list pretty much as sorted as I can get it, I want to then form a top games list of however many I feel is suitable. Now, I'm going to make the list as big as I can, but I am also going to make a video series, or this is the plan at least, to make a video series where I talk about top so many. It might be 100, it might be 200 or 300. I currently have no idea. We'll see how it goes, but what I would like to do is to make a series of, say if it's 200, I might start off the first episode by listing some disclaimers, like explaining like how I've come to decisions and explaining like how I try to work around biases and all that. Basically, like explaining to help legitimize my list, even though it is my own personal list, so it shouldn't need legitimizing, but I still feel like I kind of should. So there's that, trying to legitimize that list, and then it'll be split up into several episodes. So say the first episode might cover the first like 7 games or so, then the next episode might cover the next 7 games or so, and it'll come out maybe once a week or maybe twice a week until eventually I get down to the number 1. And I kind of know what my number 1 is already. I mean, I kind of just know in advance, but that should be fun to actually do and finally get out there. Probably would attract a lot of hate, like, I can't believe you put that game in front of this other game. But that's to be expected. So those are the plans that I've got, and that's the way that things are going. So, thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you all next time, which at the moment would be, at the time of this recording this video, would probably be my next rant video, and I'm not sure which rant that's about, and I'm not sure what number rant it is, but on Saturday at 7:30 GMT time, that's when my next rant will be up. So that's when you'll next be hearing from me, and look out for possible other future series in the future about stuff. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I will see you all next time.